I got a very proud, you're one of mine after all. Okay. Okay, guys, just a little something about surrounding yourself with the kind of people you want to be with. It does have something to do with Loki and the other gods. With Odin, a lot of my studies are picking up. Not that Loki was any slouch, but I found this talk and I couldn't figure out why he hadn't liked it before. And it was by a heathen group. Loki's back here like, wow, you're angry when you stop talking. Um, and I'm trying to keep the profanity to a minimum. Um, the individual that gave this talk, red flags started to go up. One, their insignia for their group. I thought that wasn't very well thought out, but I looked up their website and I was getting more and more red flags. They started LARPing about playing Viking, and now they think that they are experts. Let me put it very kindly. Because this expert, I'm not gonna yell, I'm not gonna break anything, basically said that Odin was a coward who's hiding behind his armies, and that Thor is stupid. And I tried, for scholarship purposes, to make it the whole way through the rest of the lecture. I really, really did. Can you feel the rage? And my honest first thought was, what is that spell to make a penis shrivel and fall off? I know it. Was it from India or where was it from? And Odin's back here like, I knew you'd come to the dark side. Let's curse people. And Odin's like really, really happy. No, I didn't do anything. I'm like, a fool is welcome to be a fool. But I don't know why you would decide that you're a heathen and take the label heathen and then go around bad-mouthing the Allfather, calling him a coward, and calling Thor stupid. Because remember who Thor's father is, in case you've forgotten. And we all know the loving, gentle kindness he is capable of. Odin can be sweet and tender and gentle and kind and a little ray of sunshine that will make you worry about him. Like, when Gandalf came back in Tolkien, it's kind of like, hey, he's like so sweet and kind and filled with light. You're like, oh, Father. And he can be something else entirely. He's all Father. He covers all the extremes. Why the hell you would want to challenge him, I don't know, but I've usually noticed it in men. And in men who fancy they know more than the gods, which is a bit of, may people who work with the Greek gods forgive me, Greek hubris, because I noticed, as I was taught in both high school and college, there was kind of this human-centric belief system for the Greeks that humans were it. The gods were actually stupid and ineffectual, may the gods forgive me. And we're very lucky that humans were around to pick up the slack, because together, without the humans, the gods would have never accomplished anything. 1 second, let me get to the oven. Okay, my apologies. So, it's that kind of human hubris. Now, as the book I got that I was very excited of was written by an archaeologist. Now, the archaeologist has to take an atheistic view and maintain it. They cannot, again, forgive me, this is terminology from the field, go native. They can't start believing in the gods or the spirits or the anything else. When they start to, they get labeled an apologist, and any kind of academic work they do ever is held suspect, and they're held to be a quack, and maybe, say, a heathen group or a group of witches or pagans might value their work, but then nobody else does, because they've left the land of archaeology and gone into the land of belief, which are two different things. So, I have one more of those lectures to watch, The Archaeologist, which I've been really enjoying. I I knew we would come to the ouchy part for me, where he feels that the tales of the gods originated from. He's so into burial cults, it makes sense from burial cults from a long time ago, and that this is a burial cult story handed down. That's fine. That's legitimate. A lot of people will say, that they believe the gods were ancestors that got deified, but what does it matter? Because they interact with us today, whether they're ancestors or gods as we understand gods, same difference. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but when I saw this guy insulting Odin and saw him insulting Thor, um, I did think of a thing of there was a anthropologist was in a village studying these people and studying, their magical practices. And the shaman kind of smiled at her and he says, dear, and he understood quite well because his tribe understood the modern world and everything. He says, dear, you think because you hide behind your piece of paper and you're learning, you can protect yourself from magic and the spirits, but it doesn't work that way. Magic works whether you believe in it or not. And it's, basically the gods work whether you believe in them or not. And he said, you can hide behind all the ignorance you want in feeling you know more, but that piece of paper you have doesn't have any magical protection from the gods. And he says, so I would think when I go back not to do, what so many other people have done, go back and say, haha, these primitive people. So, it was just something. And it does come back to surrounding ourselves with the kind of people we would want to be. Just because a group, for example, calls itself heathen or claims to be experts or something, see the kind of people they are. Are they just calling themselves heathen so they can LARP about in an age where I could, if I had the equipment, I could sit here and launch war on someone? Or, you know what I mean. Are they LARPing about in an age where those are cute antique weapons that we only use in ceremony and we present with all due honor and respect, but they're outdated. Are they there to LARP about and have fun and be pseudo intellectuals, or are they actually working with the gods and trying to learn and trying to walk a better path? Thor especially was like, he knew my temper went off and he's like, don't break the computer, don't break the computer. I'm like, I'm fine. And Odin was like real happy because Odin likes it when I get mad. I have noticed. And Loki was just in the back like, what did I tell you? I told you didn't like this guy. He said, but would you listen? No, you never listened to Loki. And of course the guy had insulted Loki too. And he insulted Loki first. So that was already strike one. And then he insulted the Allfather, and then he insulted Thor. And I was just thinking, like, where are all the people that know death curses and can sing them? It made me mad because your gods become your family and you love your family and you respect your family, hopefully. It kind of made me think of, weirdly after that I got this one of those joke friend requests you get on Facebook where you don't know why the hell the person wants to be friends with you because you got nothing in common whatsoever. And I've learned from experience not to be friends with those people because they were probably drunk or high or something, thought it would be so cool to be your friend or wasn't that big of them or something. I'm like, no, leave me alone. I don't like humans anyways. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of what the experience was. It kind of dovetailed into each other. You got this guy that supposedly knows everything and is insulting the gods and thinks that the Vikings, which remember, we all use the term Viking, but it's actually incorrect. You went Viking, you went raiding, they didn't call themselves the Viking people. And I will correct myself because a lot of heathen scholars will hit you over the head with something for that. And this guy thought that the Raiders were all that and kind of glorified them. And, I try to look at both sides of the coin. It might have been glorious to ride out, on a raid, but I'm sure it wasn't all that damn glorious when they showed up and took everything you owned and killed your family. I'm pretty damn sure that part wasn't glorious. So, It's a thing, and it was one of those things Odin and I had to seriously talk about. And I said, I know that was part of the culture, and you were, attached to this, and it's something that have to think about. But raiding and wars were two different things because war was actually really it was controlled. They'd pick a time, they'd pick a place, they'd pick the armies, they'd pick what they were fighting over, and it was very regimented. They agreed on this stuff. It just it wasn't, topsy turvy. So I didn't kill anyone. I didn't put a death curse on anyone. Look, he's back here. It's a death curse. He's having fun. He's all excited. So we're cooking up hot dogs, so he's happy. So hopefully the hot dogs will come off okay, but could had my rage been able to cook them, they'd be scorched little hot dogs right now. So if you guys like what you see, excuse me, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.